Hi y'all, Tracey Walton haired girl here. We're gonna do a little meal prep to set ourselves up for at least the first part of the week. Basically what I'm doing right now is I'm going to do breakfast bowls for myself, my son, and my husband. Let me get everything set up. I'm not gonna cut on screen or chop on screen. So let me get all that ready and then we will get started with actually putting the breakfast bowls together. Okay y'all, we're back. First thing I'm gonna do, here I'm gonna, shed a little light. I don't know what's going on with my avocado oil spray. We seem to be spraying in a stream.
It's been like that since I opened it. It's not you.
But because it's been doing that, I have been spraying, staking, and taking a paper towel and just kind of smearing it around. You will notice that I have a couple different types of bowls. I was talking to Kim about this earlier. Funny thing happened. These are like the one that I have in my hand. This is an Anchor Hocking bowl. I bought it specifically for breakfast prep. What I forgot about, as I'm freaking out asking my husband this morning to help me search, is that we only got 3 in the 2-cup size. So we decided it's kind of funny. I have 2 this size of the Pyrex, 2 this size of the Pyrex, and 3 Anchor Hockings. One of the Anchor Hockings is dirty, so I'm using the 2 same size Pyrex, 2 rectangular Pyrex, and then the 2 Anchor Hockings. Because I am thinking that this is going to be an easier way for us to differentiate our breakfast bowls. Because I'm going to put something slightly different in each bowl. So you can't really see it. Hold on. There you go. I have my Brahms cottage cheese, and I am going to put 60 grams approximately Okay, now I'm gonna fill the other ones and then I'll come back. Okay, now in each one I add a serving of the egg whites, which is, and I'm just using the Kirkland, Kirkland, 46 grams is the serving. So we will add And that one got a little more, but we're not going to fret. I know everybody seems to be jumping on the cottage cheese train. And I gotta tell you, I figured out with cottage cheese that I can do it if it's cooked in something. I'm not so good about it when I'm not one of those people who can just eat it with some fruit. I know there are lots of people who can. I think it's a texture thing for me.
Okay.
But I can eat it if it's cooked in something. And I like it with my eggs. It gives it a little bit of a cheesy taste. Okay. And then I'm going to add one egg to each one. And we are just using the Kirkland pasture-raised eggs. I had a source in the neighborhood of somebody to buy eggs from, but their chickens got attacked. So and my sweet husband said I can't have chickens until we have a dog that's not going to try to scare the chickens. And now this is where we're all going to differ. Let me get this mixed up first. Okay, now all our eggs are scrambled. And for 2 of these bowls, this is a hash brown cauliflower blend that I made last week, and I need to get used up. Why is it such a bright yellow color, you ask? Because I apparently went a little crazy with the seasoned salt. Hindsight. Okay. And then I have some pepperoni. It is the 25% less fat that I'm putting. I have chopped it up. And then I have some mushrooms. Sure, it won't be as good as my husband's omelet, but it'll be fine. And then I have some chopped spinach, because we're using what we got, because we need to get it used up. We are focusing on the not wasting of the food. And thankfully, like, this really needs to be used up, but we've had it for longer than we probably should have. But it still looked good, still smelled good, so we're going with it. Okay. And for mine, I'm going to add a little bit of Monterey Jack. That I shredded last week. Just a handful. My husband has requested no cheese, so we will not give him cheese. And then I'm using the pizza cheese for my son's pizza breakfast bowl. I know, it sounds like an odd combination, but I made it for him last week, I think it was. And he enjoyed it, so and the interesting thing about this that I had figured out is that the cottage cheese kind of melts and blends with the eggs and gives it a cheesy texture, which means I don't need cheese or don't need a lot of cheese in my breakfast bowl. So, but that way we're getting a little fruit, a little veg. Sorry, we're getting a little veg, not fruit. Okay, there we go. Now we'll put this in the oven for about 30 minutes and then I'll check it and we'll come back after that. Actually, while that's in the oven, we're going to brown some hamburger meat and some turkey so I don't have to do it later in the week. Sometimes meal prep is just about doing things to help yourself get ahead. And being honest, there are times that if I don't know what I'm using it for, I won't season it. I will say one of the things that we have started doing that has helped a lot, even though I've not been recording a meal prep or anything, but one of the things that we've been doing that helps a lot is we have actually been buying a rotisserie chicken. From Costco, and pulling it off the bone, and we eat off that meat. Like this week I had what I would call a winging it meal, which is going to sound like the oddest combination, and it kind of was, no lie. But it was actually pretty good. I did an Annie's, like a single serve Annie's macaroni and cheese. I found a recipe a while back, for a couple years, for doing the macaroni bowls like that, rather than doing them in the microwave, doing them in the lunch crock. I have one, my husband has one, and so I use that when I think about it in time. And so this week that's what I did, or earlier this week that's what I did. I added 1 slice of bacon, 4 ounces of rotisserie chicken, about a serving of cheese, and chopped up a couple handfuls of broccoli, because we have broccoli we need to use up, and put that in my lunch crock. It was very, very filling. Probably more than I needed, if I'm being honest. But it was very tasty. My coworker said that in her mind it sounded like it was going to be something like sorry, I have water under my watch. That it was going to be kind of like a chicken Alfredo sort of thing, only with a different kind of cheese. And I guess basically that's what it was, but I think this one I am going to use, as my husband calls it, it's the universal condiment. Couple tablespoons of taco seasoning, couple tablespoons of ranch. Yep. We are good now. So we have 6 breakfast bowls and my cooked ground turkey ready for our meal on Tuesday. I will be back in a few minutes to tell you kind of what my game plan is for the week after I set you up in a different location. Okay, now that you've seen some of my meal prep, here's my meal plan for the week. We're going to do the breakfast bowls for at least 2 days each. I may alternate mine with some smoothies because I have some berries and stuff I need to use up, or yogurt bowls. Haven't decided yet. It kind of depends on what I feel. For lunch, I think we are going to alternate. I put chicken pesto pasta, but I'm not sure about that. Simply because pasta all week, I'm not sure I want to do both meals as pasta. But the other meal, which is a definite that I had planned on doing last week and didn't, was I'm going to do a meal prep version of the Lazy Man lasagna. I'll try to link it down below. I did a full-size version several years ago on my channel. But I saw a video it was a short from Stay Fit Mom, and she did it as a meal prep version in smaller containers, so I'm thinking of trying that, and having that, like maybe, that may actually last longer, because what I found this week is I was using some rectangular containers about yay big that I had gotten off of Amazon. I love them, don't get me wrong, but I found that I've struggled a couple of days trying to eat everything that was in there. So what I'm thinking for my part of the Lazy Man lasagna is that I may actually have half of it with a Caesar salad. And that will get me in some vegetables, and some fiber in the vegetables and some protein with the Lazy Man lasagna. I like her recipe, but I'm going to have to change that up for us simply because Jared is allergic to zucchini and I'm trying to meal prep for all of us. So yeah, I'm going to try to make that one my own, change the way that I'm doing that one. But that will be our lunch. And then dinner will be Monday. I have cheeseburger and tot casserole. I think I've made that before on my channel. Not sure. It's a recipe that I got when I started on Weight Watchers a really long time ago. Tuesday, the Mexican lasagna. You saw I already cooked up my turkey for that. It had been in the fridge for several days and I wanted to get it cooked up before it went bad. Wednesday, Mississippi chicken with mashed potatoes and either a side salad or a vegetable. We have broccoli. We have Brussels sprouts, both that we need to get used up. I am going to need to pick up some more potatoes. My Kroger does not seem to have potatoes in stock, the organic ones. And that's generally what I get. On Thursday, we will do a sheet pan dinner. I have some chicken sausage. And we're going to throw some vegetables together on a sheet pan and call it dinner. And then on Friday, I have planned easy chicken parm and a salad. That's probably going to be the chicken patties that we got from Costco, on some spaghetti noodles with a little bit of pasta sauce, and then a side salad. Because we have multiple salads that we need to get used up. We kind of went a little crazy with the salads, but with the weather being warmer, I'm more inclined to eat salads. So, and I've been trying really hard to make sure that we're using up what we can. So that's kind of my week. Hopefully you are setting yourself up for success. And as Kim has said several times in the past, meal prep isn't about making every meal for every day. Sometimes meal prep is setting yourself up for having to do less work on the night of. I could go ahead and make the Mexican lasagna for Tuesday night, but that's going to take away room in my refrigerator for something else. And I'm trying to make the make the most of the room that I have. So for me, it's just better if I brown the meat and then work from there. Anyway, I hope you have a fabulous week, and I will see you soon. Take care, y'all.